What's up, everyone? In this video, I'm going to teach you about your food intolerances when it comes to POTS syndrome, some symptoms that you might not have realized were symptoms, how to take those foods out of your diet and then reintroduce them back in. But first, if you guys want a free guide on how to do this so that you don't have to come back to this video all the time in order to remember these steps, please go to my new Instagram and my TikTok. My Instagram is the POTS Solution. The TikTok is POTSFit. DM me the word intolerance, and I will send you the free guide, no strings attached, right to you. That way you don't have to keep coming back to this video to figure this stuff out. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, like the video. It really helps the channel out. It helps me help more people for free. Last but not least, if you want one-on-one coaching, if you need help getting better from POTS, I've done it dozens and dozens and tens of, maybe 100 at this point, times. Hit me in the DMs or email me at jqfitlife1@gmail.com, and we can talk about coaching. I have another coach on staff too, and he can help you out as well. We'll figure out who's the best fit for you. You get to be a part of a positive POTS community, not like these Reddit and Facebook groups that are focused on negativity, blah, 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 blah. So let's talk about this now. So when it comes to food intolerances, it's my opinion that a lot of people actually don't realize what it's my opinion that a lot of these people that have POTS don't realize that they are reacting to food, and a lot of their symptoms can be chalked up to food. So some symptoms that you may not realize are symptoms of food intolerances could be things like dizziness, wakefulness at night, restlessness, anxiety, like crawling out of your skin anxiety. It could be shakiness. It could be that elevated blood sugar feeling, or even the drop of blood sugar feeling. It could be like my biggest symptom used to be getting like my skin being sensitive, or even muscles being really sensitive, rashes, all these different things. So many things can be symptoms of food and you don't even realize it. Now, there's a host of reasons why. It could be histamine. That's the thing that's really popular right now. People are like, I have MSAS and histamine is my issue. It could, but that might not be your issue, right? I think you have to tread lightly when you're giving people advice on this, because so many people could react to different things. And my goal with this video and in general is to help you figure these things out without going to have to spend hundreds of dollars on testing, or even thousands of dollars in testing, and to figure it out more of the cheap way, right? Because you don't have to go do that. Would it be the easiest way? Yeah. The most efficient way? Yeah, but there are ways around it, okay? So anyways, just went off on a tangent. Those could be symptoms from food intolerances that you don't even know are food intolerance symptoms, okay? Now, in my program, when I onboard somebody, one of my requirements is for 5 to 7 days that people keep track of everything that they eat in a notebook, not on the phone, not in your notes on the phone, in a notebook and with a pen and paper, right? For me, this holds more accountability on people, which is something that's really tough for people with POTS to do for whatever reason. It's like people don't really want to take accountability for their situation. They don't really want to put in the work. But when I work with people, this is what I have them do, because getting better requires work. And if you're not willing to put in the work, you cannot be, upset when you're not feeling better. So they carry around a notebook, they carry around a pen, and every time that they eat something, they jot it down in this notebook. And then I require pictures at the end of the process of every page. Now, after they've written down the foods, they keep track of symptoms that happen between 30 minutes to 2 hours of eating those foods. The reason why this is so important is because you get to track trends over time. So let's say on Monday, you have cookies. This is going to be the simplest thing, okay? You have cookies on Monday, and you have symptoms within 40 minutes. And the symptoms are like tenderness of skin, and you're feeling anxious, something like that. And then on Friday, you have cake, and you have tenderness, anxiousness, but also you have GI discomfort, right? Like you have immediate bowel movements, that type of thing. What we can do then is we can look at the labels for both of those things, okay? If it's not like homemade cake, obviously, right? A lot of people aren't eating like store-bought cake, but let's just say you are. Or that most of your foods come in packages, let's just say that. Now we can look at both of those labels and see what are the ingredients, what are the common ingredients in both of those, right? Do they have anything that match up? Let's use cane sugar, for example. Oh, they both have cane sugar, but none of the other ingredients in there match up. Hey, let's take out cane sugar because that seems to be the common denominator between these two and see how you react for the next week. And more times than not, the symptom is gone. Oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Because it's likely that if you have POTS syndrome, right, you're not being extravagant on your diet all the time anyways, and you have certain foods in your house that you're eating daily, if not every other day, very common foods, and you're not switching it up all the time. And you keep getting these symptoms, which means that there's a common denominator in the foods that you are eating that could be causing these issues that you're having in the first place. Now, it's really important though to kind of dissect what those ingredients may be doing downstream from eating those. Because people with POTS, people with MSAS, all these different people, usually are pretty prone to things like leaky gut, gut dysbiosis, and things of that nature. Okay, so what happens is like the junctions in your stomach kind of like pull apart, for lack of better terms, right? And now the food debris is able to enter the bloodstream and cause reactions. Okay, but that's not the only thing that could be happening. So many people are focused on the histamine response in terms of POTS and stuff, but they don't understand that histamine is not the only thing that could be causing a reaction. We'll use one other compound that could be causing a reaction, which is sulfur. Sulfur could be causing the reaction. So if you're somebody who eats a lot of eggs or you eat cruciferous vegetables, things of that nature, the sulfur could be causing a reaction and causing you to be anxious. And you didn't even realize, like, oh, eggs are supposed to be good for me. Brussels sprouts are supposed to be good for me, which they are. They're great foods. However, you might have a sulfur a sulfur sensitivity, right? Because downstream, those things break out and I don't even know how to say it. I always shoot these on the fly, right? I don't prepare for these. But then sulfur is released. And now you're having a reaction to sulfur, which anxiety is a really common symptom of that. And so that's what we're really looking for is like, is it just histamine or is there another thing that could be causing this? You know, are you somebody who is like an over-methylator or an under-methylator, right? And I don't go over this all the time with all of my clients, but if you're an over-methylator, then we might have to pull back on some sorts of foods or some sorts of supplements because you're over-methylating. So we need to kind of like tone it back. Or if you're an under-methylator, we need more of these certain types of foods because when you eat these types of foods or you take these supplements, you actually tend to fare off way better, right? And so these things will help you progress in your journey. So when you find those things that are like messing with you, you take them out. And when you pull them out, if you're feeling a benefit to it, the minimum amount of time that we're going to keep those out of your diet is going to be 2 weeks. In general, your gut microbiome is so interesting because it can be changed in so many instances. And so many people just think that food is the thing that affects our gut microbiome when really our environment affects it. You ever like get into an argument or have a stressor and suddenly like you just can't get off the toilet? You ever like have a stressor or like you had a hard workout or what have you, and you have to throw up, or like you get into an argument or you feel sad and you have to throw up, right? These things change your gut microbiome. It could be your MAOA. It could be so like histamine release we were talking about before. But there's so many different factors. And your gut microbiome typically changes every like 14-ish days. So we can take advantage of that. We pull out some of this stuff, right? If you have a serious case of like leaky gut or gut dysbiosis, then we have to like be a little bit more careful and use some supplementation, maybe some bone broth, maybe some fasting, right? Even if you have POTS, but it has to be done strategically. Then we take advantage of that, right? And we pull back maybe even a little bit more. And then what we do is we reintroduce, but very minimally and very slowly. And it's different for everybody. That's why it's so important to have a plan in place and not just like winging it, like having a system that works. Because if you don't, you can actually make it a little bit worse sometimes, or have a worse reaction. Because some people will be like, bread, for example, is the thing that like sets me off, right? That might set you off. And then they're like, okay, I'm gonna take it out. But then they have like half a loaf of bread and they like are out for like a day and they're like, what the heck? I thought this was supposed to reset my gut. Dude, you should have had like a crumb, right? And not seriously, but you should have had like maybe 100 grams of bread rather than half of a loaf. If you guys can catch my drift there, if you get what I'm saying. So it's a process. It's difficult. It's not easy. But if you stick to it and you do it, there is a way out of it, which is the good thing. And then for some people, right, it's where I'm going to leave you at. Some people, their liver's not functioning properly, and they have symptoms because of that. And the gut, gut health and stuff really dictates, and not dictates, but it really kind of helps with bile flow and function of the liver. And so we need to like fix that, and we need to supplement for that. And some people have low acidity in their stomach. And so like if you're a person who eats something, no matter what you eat, you feel distended gut, you feel super bloated, you probably have low acidity. So we need to fix that. How do you fix that? Well, then we also track like water. Are you doing room temperature water? When are you having water? How soon before meals? How far after meals? Are you doing it with meals? If you're doing it with meals, what is the temperature of the water? Are you putting lemon? Are you putting electrolytes? Things of that nature, right? I know it sounds like a lot, and that's why you have somebody who has the systems in place to help you do this, because otherwise it can be very overwhelming. So checking the actual acidity of your stomach, right? And if you're somebody who feels like distended and bloated all the time after meals, no matter what, you can basically deduce that the acidity in your stomach is something that you need to address, be it with betaine HCl, or even just like using lemon with water before and after meals. That can help a lot. Walking before and after meals can help a lot too. ACV, apple cider vinegar, depending on, if you're sensitive to histamine or not, can be a big help too. All these different things. So anyways, you guys, I hope that helped you out. I hope that shed some light on this. If it did, hit the comment section below. Let me know. Like the video. Go follow the new Instagram, the TikTok, comment intolerance, and I will send you the free guide. If you have any questions on coaching, feel free to email me or send a DM about it, and we can talk about that. I can hook you up with my other coach too if you're not a good fit for me. Basically, we just want to help as many people as possible get better, because we've been there and just really think that this is like the calling. Okay, so if you're struggling, please reach out. Don't wait anymore. It's time to thrive. It's time to feel better. It's time to fight back. Your body is capable, and so are you. Peace out. Goodbye. Have a good day.